Okay, think about this for a second. Your family, maybe, grabbed from your home.
Yeah.
Or a gun pressed into your side, being forced into a car.
It's terrifying stuff.
Or even like the absolute horror of having a finger cut off because criminals want a crypto ransom.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't some movie plot.
No, absolutely not. These are real things happening to real people in the crypto world right now. It's quite sobering, actually.
It really is. And what seems concerning is this shift, right, from maybe opportunistic stuff to these really targeted, sometimes brutal operations.
That's exactly the trend we're seeing. It's become more calculated within this crypto sphere.
Right,
Yeah.
which is precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. We need to talk about personal physical security if you're involved in crypto. Whether you're a founder, an operator, just an investor, anyone really.
It goes way beyond just, seed phrases and hardware wallet.
Totally. This is about you, your family, your team, your life, basically. We saw this quote. It was something like, if you're not thinking about security, personal, physical security, none of that other stuff matters.
It's the foundation, isn't it? If you're not safe, the rest is irrelevant, especially with the kind of wealth perceived or real floating around crypto.
Yeah, that perception seems key.
It definitely attracts certain elements, unfortunately. The potential rewards look high to criminals, so the personal risks go up.
So, guiding us through this is someone with, well, a ton of experience. 35 years in security, including 25 years in the U.S. Secret Service. We're talking protecting every living U.S. president during that time, foreign heads of state.
Right.
And what's really interesting is that dual mission, the Secret Service, has protection and investigations.
That's right. That dual perspective is incredibly valuable. It's not just about standing next to someone.
So you get this deep insight into how threats develop, like surveillance, identifying risks globally.
Exactly. You see the whole life cycle, threat patterns, motivations, the tactics used. It connects the protection side with the investigative understanding of how these things happen.
Okay, great. So our mission today, it's pretty straightforward. Give you practical tools, actual knowledge to be safer.
Yeah. Actionable stuff.
We'll start with some basic principles, things everyone should know, then get into everyday habits, small changes that make a difference, and then we'll focus specifically on the kinds of violent crime we're seeing in crypto and, what you can do about it.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, let's unpack these foundational principles first. The number one piece of advice was avoid conflict. Seems obvious, maybe, but why is it so critical?
Well, it taps into something fundamental about survival, really. Our ego sometimes, or just curiosity, might pull us towards strange behavior or a confrontation.
You feel like you need to stand your ground or something?
Exactly. But the core principle here is your safety is paramount. Ego doesn't stop a threat. Disengaging, just moving away. That's almost always the smartest move. Prioritize getting out of the situation.
Okay, so check the ego, prioritize safety through disengagement. Got it. Next one. Trust your instincts. That little feeling, that unease, the source says it's your body's alarm system.
It really is. It's your autonomic nervous system. When you get that gut feeling, things are happening physically. Your heart rate might climb, breathing gets shallower, maybe you start sweating a bit.
Yeah.
That's your body prepping you for fight or flight. It's a primal danger signal honed over millennia. Listening to that, crucial. Your body often picks up on subtle cues your conscious mind misses.
Wow, so it's literally a physical warning. We just sometimes ignore it.
We rationalize it away, yeah. Big mistake sometimes.
Okay. Then there's expecting the unexpected, these Murphy moments. The advice is to mentally rehearse what-if scenarios. How does that actually help? Just thinking about bad stuff.
It's not about being morbid or paranoid. It's about preparedness. Think of it like fire drills for your brain.
Wow.
If you've already thought through, okay, what if someone suspicious enters this restaurant? Where are the exits? What could I use for cover?
Right.
If something does happen, you're not starting from zero. You've already got a potential script in your head. It cuts down reaction time, helps you move past that initial freeze or confusion.
So it's like preloading a response plan. Mental simulations. I like that.
Exactly.
And the last foundational one, invest in your safety. The source pointed out, we'll spend hours researching a phone, but minutes thinking about home security. Why that disconnect?
That's a really interesting societal point, isn't it? We value tangible things, possessions. Safety feels intangible, maybe, until it's gone. Investing in safety isn't just about buying alarms, though that's part of it. It's also investing time. Time to learn basic security practices, time to think through these what-ifs, time to secure your home properly. Recognizing your well-being is the most valuable asset you have.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's solid foundation.
Yeah.
Now let's talk situational awareness. This idea of living in the yellow. Can you explain that color code system? White, yellow, orange, black.
Yeah, it's a concept used in law enforcement and security. Think of it as levels of alertness. White is completely oblivious, zoned out, maybe staring at your phone.
Okay. Dangerous place to be.
Very.
Yeah.
Yellow is relaxed awareness. You're paying attention to your surroundings, noticing things, but you're not tense or paranoid. It's the ideal state for being out in public.
Just aware.
Just aware. Orange is heightened alert. You've noticed a specific potential threat, and you're focusing on it, deciding what to do. Black is panic, fight or flight, overload, often counterproductive.
So the goal is to stay in yellow most of the time, leaning into the yellow.
Exactly. It's about being observant. Noticing anomalies. The source gave examples, right? Someone talking aggressively to themselves or maybe wearing totally inappropriate clothing for the weather, like a heavy coat in August.
Yeah. And the advice wasn't to panic, just notice it, create some distance maybe.
Precisely. You see it, you register it, you adjust your position or path if needed. You don't stay in the white zone, head down, earbuds in, completely unaware that person is even there.
Right. Because being in white makes you an easy target.
It absolutely does. Yellow gives you time to see, time to react, time to move away.
Okay. Now, the source shared a couple of powerful stories, real gut punches about ignoring these principles. First one, loose lips in public. Miami bar scenario.
Ah, yes, that one's a classic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The expert describes watching this guy in a bar, basically broadcasting his entire life story.
To no one in particular.
Pretty much, just talking loudly. Gave away his full name, where he worked, his job title, even his date of birth.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And then the hotel he was staying at, the floor, and the room number.
Wow. Just handed it all over. And the point was, someone could easily use that for social engineering. Get a key.
Exactly. You piece that together, maybe call the front desk pretending to be him or follow him. Suddenly you've got access to his room, potential for robbery or worse.
It just highlights how vulnerable we make ourselves, doesn't it? We think we're having a private chat.
But in public, there's no such thing as a truly private conversation. You have to assume someone might be listening, especially when discussing anything remotely sensitive. Be mindful.
Okay, lesson learned. Assume you're being overheard. The second story, Carl goes to a hockey game, was actually the expert's own experience, right? Ignoring their own training.
Yeah, and that makes it even more powerful, I think. Shows anyone can slip up.
What happened?
After a hockey game, I think it was Bruins Devils in Jersey, so potentially tense crowd.
Right.
Got separated from friends, was in a crowd of opposing fans, and consciously noticed some guys exhibiting pre-attack indicators.
Like what?
Scanning the area, looking for cops, looking for exits. Classic sign someone's maybe planning something.
And they saw this, but
I'd ignored it. Maybe tired, maybe distracted, let the guard down, and, well, got assaulted, punched, broken nose.
ouch. Just like that.
Just like that. The lesson is stark. Knowing the principles isn't enough. You have to practice them consistently. Situational awareness isn't a switch you turn on and off. It failed in that moment.
It really drives home that vulnerability. Anyone, anytime. Okay, let's shift to those everyday habits. Practical things you can do. First one, don't walk alone after drinking. If you have to, tell someone your plan.
Yeah, this is crucial. Alcohol impairs judgment, slows reactions, makes you less aware, you're more vulnerable.
So telling someone.
It creates a safety net. Tell them your route, when you expect to arrive. Use location sharing on your phone, maybe an app. If something goes wrong, someone knows where you were supposed to be and when, and can raise the alarm faster.
It's like having a remote backup. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Next, carry non-lethal deterrents. But, and this seems key, they only work if they're in your hand.
Absolutely. Critical point. Things like a good tactical flashlight with a strobe function that can disorient someone, or pepper spray. But if it's buried in your purse or pocket when you suddenly need it, useless. If you're feeling uneasy walking through a sketchy area, have it ready and know how to use it instantly. Practice, even.
Right. Readiness is everything. Okay, another habit. Minimize distractions. We see it constantly, right? People totally absorbed in phones, earbuds in.
Yep, deep in the white zone, completely oblivious.
So what's the practical advice? You can't just not use your phone.
No, of course not. But be conscious. Maybe one earbud out so you have some auditory awareness. Look up frequently. Scan your surroundings. Don't walk staring down at the screen the whole time. Just project alertness. It can make you a less appealing target.
Be present, basically.
Be present in your environment.
Yeah. The source also mentioned an app, Bond, for non-emergencies. What's that about?
Right, so Bond, and there might be similar services, fills an interesting gap. It's for those times when you feel unsafe, maybe an uncomfortable rideshare or walking home late, but it doesn't feel like a 911 emergency yet. You can connect with trained security people in real time. They can monitor you silently, stay on the line, track your route via GPS. And if things do escalate, they can contact emergency services for you, discreetly even.
Huh. That actually sounds really useful for that gray area of feeling unsafe.
Exactly. A bit of professional backup when you just need some reassurance or monitoring.
Okay. Next habit, this one's for hotels. Practice stairwell drills. Know your exits. Seems a bit much.
Maybe sounds like it, but think about a real emergency, like a fire. Elevators are usually out. Panic sets in.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Great chaos.
If you've already taken 5 minutes upon arrival to find the nearest emergency stairs and walk them down to see where they exit the building, you're miles ahead. You know the route. You're not trying to figure it out in a crisis. It's simple preparation.
Okay, good point. Familiarity and chaos. Another prep idea. Fallback plans. Where to meet if you get separated in a crowd. You mentioned an Orioles game.
Yeah, simple example. At a packed baseball game with my young daughter, we got separated for a moment. Terrifying feeling for a parent.
Oh, I bet.
But we had a plan. If we get separated, meet at the big statue by the main gate. And within a minute or two, we reconnected there. Simple, verbal plan. Reduces panic, saves time, works for friends, family, anyone.
Such a basic thing, but probably overlooked most of the time. Okay, this next one's interesting. Check mirrors in hotel rooms. The pen test.
Ah, yes. The pen test for two-way mirrors. It's less common than people might think, but it's a real thing, especially maybe in certain countries or less reputable places.
How does it work?
You put the tip of a pen or your fingernail right up against the mirror surface. If there's a gap between the tip and its reflection, it's a normal second surface mirror. Glass, then reflective coating.
All right.
If the reflection touches the tip, so there's no gap, it could be a first surface mirror or potentially a two-way mirror. It means the reflective surface is right on the front. If you suspect it, just ask for another room. Better safe than sorry.
Good tip. Easy check. And the last empty habit, this was clever. Leave something you need in the hotel safe.
Ah, yeah, this is a great little life hack. How many times have people checked out and forgotten their passport or wallet in the safe?
Probably happens all the time.
So the trick is, put something essential in there with your valuables. Something you absolutely cannot leave the room without. Like one of your shoes you plan to wear?
A shoe. Seriously.
Yeah, or your car keys, maybe your phone charger if you need it right before leaving. Something that forces you to open that safe one last time before you walk out the door. Ensures you grab everything.
That is actually brilliant. Simple but effective.
Yeah.
Okay, these are all great general tips. Now, let's pivot to the crypto-specific threats. The source is really clear here. This isn't random mugging. It's often calculated, targeted, and brutal.
Yeah, the nature of the crime is different. The examples given are chilling. A founder tracked, surveilled, then robbed at gunpoint. A co-founder kidnapped, wife involved, finger amputated for ransom.
Just horrific.
A CEO surveilled, kidnapped, $1 million crypto ransom paid. These aren't opportunistic street attacks. These are planned operations, often involving significant resources and violence. The stakes feel higher because of the perceived value and, frankly, the nature of crypto assets.
And the source makes a point that these are just the reported cases.
Absolutely. Many likely go unreported due to fear, embarrassment, or other reasons. So the problem is probably bigger than the public data suggests.
And it's not just the famous crypto whales getting hit, right? That story about the young person in Portland.
That one is terrifying because it shows how social media boasting can make anyone a target. This person wasn't famous, just talked online about their crypto gains.
And people flew across the country to kidnap and rob them.
Exactly. It shows the reach and determination of some criminals and how dangerous flaunting wealth online can be, especially crypto wealth. Assume someone's watching.
So why is crypto uniquely vulnerable? What are the factors? First is just that perception of wealth, right?
Yeah, definitely. Criminals often assume anyone in crypto is sitting on a fortune, whether it's true or not. That perception makes you a target.
And then there's the structure of early startups. Maybe not having robust security teams like a bank would.
That's a huge factor. You might have a small team, maybe just a few founders, handling millions or even billions in assets, but without the corporate security infrastructure, the physical security, the protocols you'd see in traditional finance, the individuals become the weak points.
Right. And criminals might not even fully get crypto. They might think getting keys is an instant win, not realizing about traceability or exchanges freezing funds.
That misunderstanding can work against the victim too. They might think, just get the keys, easy money, not understanding the complexities or risks on their end, but their motivation is still high.
And the biggest thing? Maybe. No undo button.
That's the killer feature for criminals, isn't it? You lose your seed phrase, your private keys, access to your hardware wallet under duress. There's no central bank to call, no fraud department to reverse the transaction. It's gone.
That finality is terrifying.
It makes the stakes incredibly high for the victim.
Okay, and the source detailed how these criminals operate, identifying targets from podcasts, social media, conferences.
Yeah, public appearances, even party lists. Anywhere people might talk about crypto involvement.
Then building a profile, scraping info online, maybe using people close to the target housekeepers, drivers for intel.
Finding connections, learning routines. It's classic intelligence gathering applied to individuals.
Studying the pattern of life.
Yeah.
And often choosing the home for the attack.
Home is often seen as a controlled environment for the attacker. More privacy, more time to exert pressure, less chance of immediate intervention.
It sounds like a lot of effort goes into these plots.
It often does, which ironically means there might be signs. If you're vigilant, aware of surveillance, aware of anomalies, it's potentially detectable. But you have to be looking.
Okay, so given these scary specific threats, what can people in crypto actually do? First recommendation, set up a secondary wallet. A decoy?
Yes, exactly. The idea is to have a separate wallet, maybe on your phone or easily accessible, that has some crypto in it. Not a trivial amount. Something believable, maybe with a plausible transaction history.
So if you're forced?
If you're physically forced under duress to hand over crypto, you give them access to this wallet. It might be enough to satisfy them in the moment, get them to leave, while protecting your main stash, your cold storage, whatever. Because like the source said, encryption doesn't help when someone's using physical force.
A pragmatic sacrifice, potentially life-saving.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, delete your online presence. Use services like Delete Me. Use trusts for property.
It's all about reducing that attack surface. The less information publicly available about you, your location, your assets, your connections, the harder you are to target. Services that scrub your data from broker sites using trusts so your name isn't directly on property records. It adds layers of obscurity. Make yourself harder to find.
Makes sense. Basic home security, too. Cameras, motion lights.
Absolutely. Even a basic visible setup is a deterrent. Criminals often look for the easiest target. Motion lights startle people. Cameras imply recording. It might be enough to make them move on to someone less protected. Plus, it gives you more awareness of your own property.
Good deterrent.
Yeah.
And then separating funds. Different platforms, wallets, logins.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, basically. Use different exchanges, different types of wallets, hot, cold, different devices if possible. Crucially, use unique, strong passwords and different recovery methods for each. Don't link everything together. Compartmentalize. Makes it much harder for one breach to compromise everything.
Diversification for security. Got it. And practicing that what-if game again.
Yes. Reinforce that mental prep. Constantly. Almost subconsciously. Sitting in a restaurant. Okay, where are the exits? What if? On a plane. Waiting for a train. Keep that situational awareness muscle flexed. Identify cover, concealment, escape routes. Not paranoid, just prepared.
And know your exits. Walk the stairwells in hotels. Pack a go chair. That hotel stuff again.
Yeah, it bears repeating, especially for people traveling for crypto conferences or business. Emergencies are chaotic. Knowing those stairs, having clothes easily accessible by your bed, go chair or bag, saves precious seconds.
Right. And finally, don't rely just on your phone to reconnect. Have that verbal separation plan.
Phones fail, networks get jammed in emergencies, batteries die. Always have a simple verbalized plan B with anyone you're out with. If we get split up, meet back here at specific landmark in 15 minutes. Don't assume tech will save you.
Okay, wow. Lots to think about. The closing thought from the source really hit home. If you're ever grabbed, it's too late to think about this stuff.
It really puts a fine point on it, doesn't it? Preparation and awareness have to come before the crisis. That's when they actually matter. It's about prevention.
So just to wrap up this deep dive, we covered those core security principles, Avoid conflict, trust instincts, expect the unexpected, invest in safety.
Foundational stuff.
Then those everyday habits, telling someone your plans, having deterrence ready, minimizing distractions, knowing exits, having fallback spots.
Practical steps everyone can take.
And then the really specific crypto threats targeted, violent crime, and the countermeasures. The decoy wallet, minimizing your online self, home security, separating funds, and constant mental prep.
Yeah, layering those general principles with crypto-specific tactics. It's a holistic approach, really. They all work together.
Now, I know this can sound like a lot, maybe even overwhelming.
It can feel that way initially, yeah.
But the idea isn't to become paranoid overnight. It's about gradually building these habits, raising your awareness level just a bit, living more in that yellow zone.
Exactly. Small changes, consistently applied, make a huge difference. It's about empowerment, not fear. Gaining an advantage.
So for you listening, maybe just take a second. Think about your own habits. Are you often in that white zone? What's maybe one yellow habit you could try to adopt this week? Even something small.
That's the way to approach it, one step at a time.
Because thinking proactively about your security, especially in the crypto world, it isn't about expecting the worst around every corner.
No, it's about being prepared, being empowered, and ultimately just being safer so you can focus on everything else.